Hello and welcome to our video on organizing your Google Drive. My name is Corinne Kelly and I'm one of the educational consultants at SOIDA, a state ed tech in Ohio. If you are planning on taking advantage of the certificate of attendance option through Ohio EdTech, you'll want to head over to ohioedtech.org and fill out the provided form with the title of this video and this code DRIV, as in drive, right? All caps. And then once you've done that, you'll receive your certificate at the email you provided when you filled out that form. Okay? We're going to go ahead and head over to our drives. And you can get there by going to drive.google.com. Or if you are already on a Google page, you can use your app launcher to go straight to your drive. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at this whole interface of the drive, and then we'll talk about sharing folders and putting your content into folders as well. Okay? So when you're looking at this, you can see in the sidebar here we have some different sections. And when I went to my drive, it took me here to priority. So what priority is it's all the stuff that you're currently working on. So many times when we're in our drives, we find that we can't find what we need, or every time we go to work on something, we're having to dig around and get everything we need before we can start working. And priority is designed to eliminate some of that struggle and searching for content. So what you're seeing here in the priority view is all of my stuff that I've recently had open, as well as my workspaces, okay? And you can make whatever workspaces you'd like. So if I click Create Workspace, and I title this Demo, I'm just going to do a little demo workspace that I'm going to then delete, and hit Create. I'm going to add files. You've got a 25 file limit here. You can add sites. You can add actually anything that's stored here in your drive. Doesn't even have to be Google content. It's just keeping it all together. I'm going to insert all of that in there and then say Add Selected Files. Okay. Done. And then it's really easy for me to come in here and open up my workspace and find the things I need. And then when you're done, all you have to do is, you can hide it too. If you're presenting and you don't want people to see, you can hide a workspace, you can rename it, or you can remove it. And the files, in this case, they're not being moved around at all. All you're doing is creating a collection of quick links so that you can easily find your stuff. But you're not moving it into folders or anything. It's just making it easier for you to get there. So that's what priority is, okay? If you think, this is really great, but when I go to my drive, it lands here in my drive, you're going to want to go up to the gear, okay? So up here in your gear are your drive settings. This is where you can see storage. If that applies to you, if you are G Suite for Education, school, or district, you have unlimited storage, so you don't have to worry about that. Also in here, you're going to see this little box where you can check Convert Uploads. If you are living in Drive, everything you create is in Drive, and everything you upload you want to have converted if it can be converted, like Word to Doc, Excel to Sheets, PowerPoint to Slides. If that's what you're wanting, you're going to want to check that. If that box remains unchecked, when you upload content, it's basically you're just storing it in the cloud, okay? You can edit and things like that. They have Drive editing for Word and such, but I really think it's best practice if you are living in Google to truly live in Google. So I always keep that checked and I upload and convert all of my stuff. You can turn offline editing on. There's density, which is just how much stuff you can see at once in your view. And then your suggestions are down here. So these are all of the features that they've added that are intended to make your life easier and make it easier to find the things you need. I've checked all of them for the purposes of this video. You can check all, you can check none, you can check whatever you want, okay? So I would turn them on, see if you like them. If you do, great. If not, come back into the gear and turn them off. So I've checked make relevant files handy when you need them in quick access. We'll look at that. I've checked surface important people and shared with me. So we'll see that when we look at shared with me. And then make priority my default home page. So if you want, when you go to Google Drive, for priority to be the first thing that shows up, you want to definitely check that last one. If you don't, and you want to go to your drive and you want to open it up in My Drive, leave it unchecked. It's totally up to you. The only other thing you really need to worry about in here for now is this notifications. I have email notifications turned on. I noticed when I had that turned off that I was not getting everything I needed. And I was even sometimes having a hard time finding things in shared with me. So I would encourage you to leave that checked. However, browser notifications, those are little pop-ups that come up every time someone shared with you. That really annoyed me because I have a lot of stuff getting shared with me regularly. I turned that off. That's up to you. Okay, but I would at least leave the email notifications on. All right, so My Drive. We talked about priority, now I'm in My Drive. The quick access, that was one of those boxes you could check or uncheck. That's right here, okay? These are all of the things that I have been working on lately. They're going to be very similar to what's up here in priority because it's what I've been working on, okay? It's just in My Drive instead. Beneath that priority or that quick access, which you can turn off, are all my folders, okay, in My Drive. You're going to notice some of them are solid and some of them have a little person on them. If they have a little person, that means they're a shared folder. Okay? To create a new folder in your drive, you just go to New Folder and give it a name, and you can start putting stuff in it. Or you have the option of uploading folders. So I know a lot of you already have everything organized on your computer in folders. In order to get it up into your Google Drive, you can go to New Folder Upload. And you have to be using Google Chrome to do this, okay? So if you're using, Safari or Firefox or something like that, it's not going to work. You'll only be able to upload individual files. Whereas here, yep, thank you. Because I'm using Chrome, I'm able to upload entire folders, and it will maintain the organizational structure of your folder, which is really nice. So if I had subfolders within that parent folder, not a problem. It's going to keep that all organized just like I had it, and because I have that box in my settings checked, it's also going to convert anything that it can. Anything that it can't convert, it's just going to store. It's like storing in the cloud. It's like we used to have the flash drives, right? It's just stored on there. You can download it on the computer and open it up, no problem. But for a lot of things, Google won't have a preview. So it'll give me a preview of like images. If I upload a video, I can play video right in my Google Drive. But if I had like a Smart Notebook file or a like an Adobe file, like a Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop file, those wouldn't have previews. I'd have to download those to open them in their respective applications. Okay, all right. So you can create folders or you can upload them. Once you have a folder on here, and I'm going to see if we can zoom in a little bit. There we go. If you want to share that folder, you can select it, and then once you select something, if I'm just over here and I don't have anything selected, do you see how there's nothing right here? And then when I select a folder, I get some options. So I can turn link sharing on. That's going to allow me to share via link. Turn it on, and then I can say, it says anyone at SOIDA can view, that's anyone in my domain can view this folder. I can go into my sharing settings and change that to go to more, anyone with the link, if I need to share outside my organization. You can also just turn it off just as easily. And then you can also share with individuals. If you share with individuals, I'm sharing a folder, remember, you can say they can organize, add, and edit content to this folder or they can view this folder. So the cool thing about shared folders is that if I share this folder with Deb and say she can organize, add, and edit everything that's in there, she now has that access at folder level. Folder permissions will push down to everything that's in the folder. So if 3 weeks from now I add something new to that folder, I don't have to go in there again and say, I need her to be able to edit this. She's already got that access because I gave her permission at the folder level. Okay? Now I'm the owner of that folder. I can move things around, I can take things out. If I share a folder with some people and I take something out of that folder, it removes their access from that and they won't be able to find it again. So that can be good because it makes it easy for me to remove access for a lot of people if I need to. But it also can be problematic if you pull something out of there unintentionally. People will lose access to that document. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm going to cancel that because she probably doesn't actually want that. But as soon as you share a folder, you'll get that little person icon on the folder. If you want to color code your folders, you will need to either right click or when you have the folder selected, there's these 3 dots. There's always a menu when there's those 3 dots there. That's where you can change the color. You can add a star. See how there's stars there? Adding stars will put them into the starred section over here as well. So that's supposed to be another way for you to quickly get your content. Okay? All right. So in My Drive, all of your folders are listed first. They're also in a drop down over here. So there's a little drop down there. It takes a minute sometimes for that drop down to populate. There it goes. And then any of them that have an arrow have subfolders in them, excuse me. Your folders over here are always going to be organized in alphabetical order. You can do ascending or descending order. You have no other option. You cannot manually organize your folders, okay? If you need something to be at the top, you can use asterisks in front of the name of your folder, and that will shoot it up to the top. But otherwise, that's it, okay? Also, any of your documents that are not in folders are going to be, scrolling, I've got a lot of folders, scrolling, will be below the folders. So if you want to view your documents, I'm going to collapse this, you'll have to scroll down. And I feel like this is Google's way of kind of saying, why don't you just put your stuff in a folder? It'll be easier to find instead of just willy-nilly over here, okay? All right, so all your folders and then all your documents. If you're trying to find something and you're having trouble, I encourage you to utilize the search bar up here. If you just click in it, you can search by person. So I want to see everything that Deb has shared with me. Okay? Or by file type, I want to see all of my websites. Okay? Or you can actually run a search here and say, okay, I know it's called something about Google Classroom. And then I can use my down arrow in my search to filter further and say, I know it's a document, and I know I own it. You can say date modified, like I know it was in here yesterday, and then you can hit search. Okay, now I'm currently in list view, as you can see, right? If I've still got too many and I cannot figure out which one I want, and I don't want to have to open 15 different files to figure it out, you're going to come up here and go into grid view, and grid view is going to give you quick previews of all of your stuff. Okay, so you can say, oh, there's the one I was looking for. That's why naming conventions are so important as well as folders, okay? You want to make sure that you're organizing your stuff into appropriate folders, and you want to make sure that you are using naming conventions that are going to help you identify your content, whether you're using dates, school years, some kind of descriptive bit in there, whatever you need to do to make it easy to find your stuff, okay? If you want to get more information about a document, I've selected a document, and now I'm going to come over here. There's a preview eye to give you a bigger preview. and you can print and download right from here. Or you can go to the little info. It actually says details if you hover view details, and it'll give you a bigger preview. It'll show you who owns it, what level of sharing, if other people have access to it in here, okay, where it lives. This is just in my drive. It's not in a folder, but if it was in a folder, it would show me the folder, created, modified, and all the activity on that document. Super helpful, okay, who can edit it, everything. If you just have My Drive selected and you click View Details, there won't be any details, but you'll still be able to see the activity in your drive, what's been going on. Okay? So that View Details can be helpful. And at any point in time, do you see how going to Grid View has kind of changed my view quite a bit? You can toggle between those whenever you want. So now instead of a grid icon, I see a list icon, and I can go back and forth. All right. Now beneath My Drives, you have shared drives. So we've already talked about shared folders a little bit. Shared folders are great if you're working with a couple people, and generally I think a small group is best, and you're not worried about people taking things out or messing anything up or anything like that. Shared drives are a little different. Shared drives are created by your domain admin, and that domain admin will add people to the shared drive, and they will choose a couple people to be managers of the drive, and the managers are going to be able to add other people and select their level of access to that shared drive. So I've got one here. I'm a manager, so I can add members. You can add content managers who can add, edit, and remove content. You can add collaborators that can add content but can't remove it from the drive. You can add viewers, okay? But this is all owned by the domain. The domain owns these drives, so it's not tied to anyone's account. So this is really nice for grade level, school-wide projects. It's nice when you've got people that are coming and going. I've got someone retiring and new people coming in. I can just add them to the shared drive, and they're able to get all this collaborative work, and I still have some control. So I would add the majority of people as collaborators so that once things are added, they're not removing them, and then just a couple people as content managers and even fewer people as managers of the drive. But this is a great way to share stuff and not have to worry about who owns it, right? Okay, so you've got those shared drives. Again, domain admin has to create those, so if you need one of those, you can put in that request with them. There's a little line here dividing it, so this was all my stuff. My drive is everything I create, everything I upload and convert, anything that's shared with me that I add to my drive, which we'll be talking about shortly. Then shared drives we just spoke about. Beneath that line, we have shared with me. Anytime someone shares something with you, it goes into shared with me. A lot of times when we have someone that's new to Google Drive and they come in and they say, I can't find this. You know, Susie shared this document with me and I can't find it anywhere. A lot of times they're in their drive looking for it. Anytime someone shares something with you, it goes into shared with me. Now, I turned on this, and I kind of like this in settings. Remember this guy? Surface important people and shared with me. So because that's on, I'm seeing Deb and Kara here, and I would see even more people if I zoomed out a little bit. These are people I regularly work with or that regularly share content with me, so I'm able to quickly and easily get those recent documents that they've shared with me, or documents that they've shared with me that I've recently accessed, so it doesn't have to be recently shared, okay? But you'll have all of your shared stuff here. You can sort it by shared date or last modified by me. You can actually do the same thing in Drive as well. You can sort your content a little bit, but you'll still have all the folders first, followed by documents that are not in folders, okay? Keep that in mind. All right, so this is where all the shared stuff goes. You can organize some of this content. So if I were to come in here and I see this, and I want to add this to my drive, I'm going to select it, and then up here I see this option, or I could right click, same options, add to my drive, and now it says undo or organize over here. I'm going to organize it, and I'm going to put it in a folder so I know where it is. Now some people, and this can take, I have a lot of folders, so sometimes it takes a minute to load. There we go. Some people will then want to remove this from my drive. So I don't know if you, or from shared with me. I don't know if you noticed, I added it to my drive, I organized it into a folder, it's still here. So some of us have this like urge to clean their shared with me out, because shared with me really, I mean, look at it, it's kind of a mess. There's a lot of stuff in here. Never delete something from shared with me that you want to access later, unless you've made a copy of it, okay? If I were to add that to my drive, put it in a folder, and then come into shared with me and delete it, when I go into that folder, it's going to be gone. All you're doing when you add it to a folder of yours in your drive, add it to your drive and in the folder, is putting a shortcut. Just makes it easy for you to get here instead of having to go to shared with me and dig it out. So don't delete anything from shared with me. Now, if there's something someone's shared with you and you don't want it, you don't even know why they shared it with you, by all means, delete it. It's fine. But if you accidentally delete something you do need, you'll need to contact the person that shared it with you and have them reshare it, because you will not be able to access it. Okay? Beneath that, you've got recent. Recent is kind of self-explanatory. It's everything that you've recently been working on. And then beneath that, you've got start. And we talked about start a little bit. Let me go back to my drive. You can see I've got a couple things that have stars next to them. That's where they go. They go into start. And then below that, you've got your trash. All right. Now, when you throw something away in your drive, from your drive, it goes into your trash. And unlike Gmail, where things that are deleted go away after 30 days, nothing gets automatically deleted. It's all going to sit here until you come in and either empty your trash or empty individual files. Okay? You can also restore. So once you've selected something, there's a little like back in time icon. You can restore that to your drive and take it out of your trash as well. The only exception, remember, is shared with me. So if you delete from shared with me, it's not going to go into your trash. It's just going to disappear. So again, you'll have to contact that person that owned the document initially. Okay. All right, I think that is about it for your drive. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about in this presentation, again, please feel free to email me at Caryn, C-A-R-Y-N, @soida.org, and I'd be happy to answer all of your Google Drive organization questions. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.